Alright, what you're looking at is a solar panel that I received some years ago. It was given to me by a friend. I have no idea of the rating on it, and I haven't gone around to test it. All I know, it gives about 24 volts, so really and truly it's a 12 volt solar panel. When you put the load on it, it actually supplies 12 volts. So at some point in time I'll use my multimeter and test to see what the amperage rating. From there I'll be able to work out what's the wattage on this thing. So there it is. Just one at the moment, but I do plan to install additional panels, and well, I'll need to find a better way to mount it to the roof. What you're looking at now is the battery bank, which is connected to the solar panel that I showed a few moments ago. So what you have here is a 1500 watt inverter. Bought that from PriceSmart in Jamaica. That's the charge controller. It's a 30 amp charge controller, and as you can see, it's indicating a full charge on the batteries. The wiring is not as neat as I'd want it to be, but I only used the wires which I had available to me at the time. But I've bought wires, as you can see here, which I'm going to do a bit of rewiring later today. The wires that I'm using is a well, these wires are 2.5 wires, 2.5 millimeter wires, and the wire that I'll be changing to is a 8 gauge wire. I was told by the electronics store that the 8 gauge wire can accommodate up to 40 amps. So I'm figuring that should be more than adequate for what these two switches is how I'm able to control power supply from the battery and the solar panel. So if you look at the charge control, I'm going to turn off the batteries. Okay, not so there it is. The charge controller is saying it's not detecting the batteries. And now let me turn off the solar. So at this point, if I turn off the batteries and the solar panel, it no longer has any current. So there it is, turned off. I'll turn on back everything. Now I'm going to open this box to let you see what the setup for inside. Alright, so the cover has been removed, and this is the setup inside. I started to change the type of wires being used. So that's the 8 gauge wire that you see being used to connect from battery to batteries, and the batteries are connected in parallel. This wire that you're seeing right here is actually 2.5 millimeter wires. So that's my setup. The wires are all connected in parallel, so positive to positive, negative to negative. This little thing that you see right here is actually a fuse. I'm using the kind of fuse that you'd find in a vehicle, and this is actually a 30 amp fuse, so this should provide adequate protection from a charge controller. So this wire is actually what leads back to the charge controller. You might be seeing these two wires dangling. That was me anticipating that I might add another battery, so I left that available. But now that I'm rewiring, what I'll do is change out all the wires, and it's easier now that I'm using the contact terminals, so I can disconnect and reconnect the batteries easily. So that's the setup.